Big Biz Show's on the air, bigbizshow.com. We have a very special guest.
Holy moly. Our next guest and I go back almost 16 minutes, I think.
I think it's
since the first time we met. A true powerhouse, and we are so excited to have him sit with us as much as he is in demand. Mr. Tim Storey with us here.
You know, if you know anything about leadership coaching,
yep,
or leading with love, everyone's heard this. This is the man who did this. This is the heir apparent, and this is me saying this, but this. You are the heir apparent to Oprah and Dr. Phil, and so on and so forth. I mean, it really is remarkable what you've done. And welcome to the program. Thanks for giving us the time to come in here. We don't get rock stars like this very often.
No, but the band and the fact that they were on key. And
debatable.
I mean,
that's the rest is easy. Is that what you're telling us?
We got it going on here.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You are known as the comeback coach.
Yes.
You're the guy that people call when life is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing you for the short time I've known you, it's not an easy conversation with you because Tim's brand is, does this dress make you look fat? No, your face does. No, it's not. It's not that. But you are very straight speaking.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I think that, everybody starts with momentum and they want their life to flow. Nobody wants what I call a life interruption. Mm-hmm. But life interruptions come. It could be somebody's divorce. It could be an illness. It could be a company did not work. And if you're not careful, what you'll do is that you will sit there and just kind of nurse your problems and rehearse your problems. I'm the guy they bring in to say, we got to face the facts, take inventory, and figure out a comeback plan.
When I listen to your Miracle Mentality podcast, that's a theme that you have all through it without actually being front and center, but it's so consistent.
Yes.
And it seems that you have to, like I always say this, and Mike and I come from a radio background where there's a reason you hear the same carpet cleaning commercial for 6 months in a row because you have to beat it in their heads. Is it the same thing with coaching? I mean, do they get it right away typically, or it just depends on the situation?
I think it takes a while because we have to unlearn what we've learned. And I feel that many times when somebody has a setback, they think that time is going to heal it. So just a quick story is Mike Tyson. You guys remember when he was knocked down by Buster Douglas?
Oh, yeah.
And they said to him, why couldn't you get up? He says, because I was never trained to get up. I was just trained to knock people out. So a lot of people in setbacks were never trained to get up.
Yeah.
So I'm the guy that helps them become trained to get up.
They also have to kind of want to get up. I mean, do you ever see that where you're working with somebody and maybe they're kind of comfortable in their pity party and they're not at the point where they're ready to accept your help? Do you see that, and how do you get them through that?
That is where most people are. And that's why there's a book called A Nation of Victims, where in every house there's almost like a victim seat where the dad may want that seat, the wife may want the seat, the kid wants the victim seat, so they can just say, the reason I'm like this is because this happened to me.
Right.
Is that the thread of everyone that hits rock bottom? Is that kind of the not taking accountability or not taking responsibility?
I think that's one of the biggest things. So one of the things that I teach in turning your setbacks to comebacks is that you have to become awake. Secondly, take inventory. Thirdly, partner with the right people. But in partnering with the right people, you better find people that will help check you. You got to check people.
Leadwithlove.net is the website. The great Tim Storey is with us also, timstorey.com, S-T-O-R-E-Y. Tim, when a lot of these people that you counsel, and my best friends on earth are the ones that say, you're an idiot. They don't tell me what I want to hear. They tell me what I need to hear. A lot of these people that have surrounded themselves with those yes people, how tough is it to crack that shell when they've hit that rock bottom?
Yeah, because many times the yes people are on their payroll.
Totally.
And so they don't want to. They don't want to tell them that that will take them off the payroll.
Right.
And so I think the thing that's worked for me is being an inner city kid from Compton, 7 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. What are you gonna do? Send me back? I'm not afraid. So when I started working with Charlie Sheen in 1988, I was very strong with him. Robert Downey Jr., I started working with him in 1991, very strong with him. Kanye West, started working with him, in 2006 until present. I have the guts to tell these people what I really feel, and they keep me around. So
okay, so and I know you have been coach to some of the biggest names that we would all recognize, not only in Hollywood and music and in sports and in entertainment. but there had to have been a tipping point for you
Yes.
to make you realize that this was a gift, that this was what you should be doing. When did that happen?
Yeah, so I think that for me it was the fact of the way we were raised. Father with a 10th grade education, mother 6th grade education, lower income, Compton. I saw that my family was walking with a limp. I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like the feeling that the ice cream truck went by, the other kids could buy ice cream, I could not. So I decided to say, okay, how the heck do I get out of this? And when I started finding facts and formulas that got me through, I said, I think I'm onto something. And literally in high school, my coaches said, it's like you're the priest of the high school or something, like everybody goes to you. So this gift was starting to manifest early.
Who takes failure more personally? Celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainers, or entrepreneurs?
I would say entrepreneurs.
No kidding.
Entrepreneurs.
But we take all the risk anyway. I'm expecting failure half the time in the beginning, but maybe that's why, because we're already next to the edge, right?
You said it right there.
Okay.
You said it right there, because I think with startups, it can be so difficult. And startups is kind of like in football terminology, you start off in the red zone. You got 10 yards to score, but everyone's blitzing you. And so I see it with the big entrepreneurs that I run with. As you know, I coach the biggest CEOs in the world. And I would say entrepreneurs are the ones that are having some of the biggest challenges.
You know, and look, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 26, so that's been 3 total years now. And a long three. It's interesting because in raising 2 daughters, everyone knows the ugly years, the teenage years, where I'm so glad I wasn't my girl's mom. Mary, you're the mother. I mean, it's the toughest time. It's that messy middle thing you talk about. Same thing happens in the business world, right? It's a way to learn, correct?
Yes.
Talk about that.
100%. So I think in building a business, you got to look at it this way, that number one, you have to sit and learn, get educated. Not enough people are really getting educated on how to start a business. So you need the right mentors. And today it's beautiful because you can watch TED Talks, YouTube videos, podcasts. So you got to sit and learn. Secondly, you got to stand in what you've learned, and then you got to walk in what you've learned, and then you got to learn to run in what you've learned.
This is that's why there's a mess in every middle.
Yes.
You're not going.
He's not. No, he's not.
No, thank God.
No, we're gonna have more of Tim, and then I'm doing actually 3 segments. I'm gonna make you commit now on TV because he was only committed for 2. I'm making him stay a 3rd one. So.
All right, keep it here. Lots more to come with the great Tim Storey. Do not go anywhere. Big Biz Show rolls on right after this. And a very, very special guest today, Father Tim Storey, with us here in studio.
He is the comeback coach. He hosts the podcast Miracle Mentality. He also spoken in 85 countries, shared the stages with guys like Grant Cardone and Deepak Chopra, and of course, Mary Burt Godwin, who's now getting the keynote speaking business. Based upon your questions, you should
Congratulations, Mary.
After this conversation, I'm going to.
Yeah. I mean, you're a culture influencer. And your thought leader is easy to, those are, a thought leader is like, let's pivot this, but cultural influencer, I think, is what we can call you. I think it's probably.
I like that. I'll take that.
I think you should, because I think that's that's what explains really what you do, and the other piece of this is your philosophy of upgrading your life, right? I mean, that's a really interesting thing that we don't think about enough.
Can I tell you where I get that from?
Yeah.
So I think that most people are stuck in what I call an almost life. Like their job is almost good. Their children are almost okay. Almost means not quite nearly. Most means there's a ceiling. So if we let go a helium balloon right here, it would hit this high ceiling, but it would stop. But
I think it hit the disco ball first, Tim. But
it would hit the disco ball and stop. But the question is, like, who put the ceiling there? So you have the almost, you have the most, but then you have the utmost, which is to break the ceiling.
Break it.
And I think that it's innate in all of us, all 4 of us, to break the doggone ceiling, but somehow somebody told us we have to just stop at the ceiling.
It's self-imposed ceilings, right?
100%.
Because we have fears or whatever we may have to put them there. Now, I want to ask you, if I may, it sounded like some of the names you dropped, there was a couple through lines, which is maybe addiction and or mental health issues with some of the people that you, celebrities you named. Do you see that as a thread? And, I'm almost listening to you because I'm in recovery and I hear some of the tenets that I practice in what you're saying. And I love that you're bringing it to the masses, because a lot of people don't necessarily have a 12-step program, but what you're saying is it's good for everybody, no matter what your situation
100%.
is, right?
Yeah, because there's different buckets of your life.
Yep.
There's your mindset, there's your spiritual life, your physical life, your job or career, your financial, your family, your social. So I deal with all those.
Yep.
So if I'm talking to Tom Hanks, I'm not talking to Tom Hanks about addiction. That's not what his problem is.
Right.
But I am talking to him about alignment to his assignment and keeping him on the yellow brick road. So if I'm talking to Oprah Winfrey, same thing. I'm not talking to her about addiction. I'm talking to her about what she wants to do at this stage of her life. So I've been fortunate. You know, my office has been in Beverly Hills for almost 3 decades. And so I work with people from all walks of life, and addiction is just one of them. But part of it is just keeping people focused.
And keeping them out of their own way. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
you,
it's
but,
okay.
I mean, it's the same kind of principle as you got to take ownership, right?
He's going to get me off my Funyun addiction. which
Yes,
is
right.
awesome.
I don't want you to get out.
Okay. Tim Storey, so happy to have him in studio with us. Leadwithlove.net is the website. Also, Tim Storey, STOREY.com.
I'm fond of saying when you just sort of take accountability for it, then you're in recognition jail. You've got to sort of trace it back. I mean,
Yes.
The first piece of the problem is recognize you have it. Okay, great. I have a problem. Now I suck. It's way more than that, right?
Yes.
Because otherwise you get into that thing called stinking thinking, and you get into the thing called I've met the enemy and it is me.
Yes.
You need to kind of sort of trace those things back and ask the whys sometimes. Is that sort of the philosophy?
100%. So what you need is you need an outside perspective. So as you know, many times when you are going through problems, you go what I call singular. Everything's singular. So let's say if you're in a divorce mode, you've gone singular in that divorce mode. I need somebody from the outside, so I need a power with partnership who has a different perspective than the one that I am seeing. So that is the truth.
Let's bring. Hang on a second. Let's bring business to this real quick.
Yeah.
Because you do the 8 buckets. I forget what it's called. Of enlightenment, maybe.
So it's just the eight buckets of life.
Of life. That's
Of
right.
life, yeah.
And talk about 8 buckets of business life. Is it the
Yes.
same?
It is the same, because in the buckets I talk about your career and then your finances.
How do entrepreneurs do in the 8 buckets?
Most entrepreneurs are very high in the fact that they're going after their goals, but then if I ask them, scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel your business is doing? They may say 7, 8. Finances, they may say 7, 8. How's your family doing? 2 or 3. So they're usually sacrificing the family and sacrificing themselves, their own mindset, for the sake of trying to do a business.
You ever walk around and something's bugging you and you don't know what's bugging you?
Yep.
I do this thing where it's the F's, faith, family, finances, friends, and you have a very similar thing. It's really about kind of getting to the core problem, not just wallowing in the fact that something's wrong, correct? Because
Yes.
we get complacent, I guess. I mean, we get used. I'll give you a business example. We're paying how much are we paying per gallon? $4.50? Remember when we were aghast at paying $3? We got used to it.
Of course, yeah.
We get used to things, even the
develop the
most
callus.
ridiculous things that you would never get used to. Is that sort of a piece of the mentality that we got to break?
No doubt about it, because we see so many things out there. Because before, when I was coming up, there was not TikTok, there was not Instagram, Facebook, and so many people are talking about being on their grind, I'm on my grind, I beat the sun up. I don't go at life that way. I don't chase dreams, I cooperate with what I believe God has said to me. Big difference. I'm not a chaser. So all the things that keep happening for me, all the businesses that I do run, which is about 7, I am not a guy who's chasing anything. I am simply cooperating with what I think has been spoken over my life.
So one of the things, the Sullyism, is cash flow is more important than your mother, more important than your mother in business. And people will become exhausted as entrepreneurs to make sure they have. And look, if I would rather have you embrace the vice of greed than ego in terms of business. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, you'd better put business in front of your own personality. But don't you think that just by nature of the chasing of the revenue, the chasing of the money in the bank, puts entrepreneurs at a disadvantage?
It does, because you also will lose sight of what is the reason. So motive is a big thing, because so many people start off with good motives of, I'm going to take care of my family, right? Or I'm doing this to help people. But then they get into the competitive side of seeing what other people are doing.
And social media is horrible at making you compare.
100%.
This is what you don't have.
You never see anybody put, hey, gained 30 pounds this week and I filed bankruptcy.
Well,
You never see that. Turned 86 today, I'm only 30. You never see that stuff.
talk a little bit about how community is important, essential to it. And, even entrepreneurs probably feel isolated. People watching social media, it's supposed to bring people together, but they feel isolated watching. That's not me. Talk about the sense of community, how it in the world of business and in person.
Okay, so this is so good. So I literally roll with a guy named Peter Block, who is like the guy of community. And he talks about the essential side of community because there has to be a sense of belonging. It's a place where you can be understood.
Yeah.
It's a place where you can be enlightened. And that's why I have my own community that you keep mentioning called Lead with Love. So as you guys have said, I've been to 82 countries of the world. And so in 82 countries of the world, I'm going back with this movement, Lead with Love, so they can come into this community and I work with them on the 8 buckets of their life.
There's many. We're not letting you go there. There's much more here. Plus, I want to bring on one of your partners, David Guillod, who also has rubbed elbows with some pretty big names. We'll tell you that coming up in a minute. And also talk about. I swear, I think because of my mindset, there's a miracle happens to me like once a month in business, and I think it's just because of the way I think about it. Like, there's no way this could be happening.
Like manifesting it?
Listen, I'm not a kumbaya. I'm not putting my crystals outside.
secret,
and
man, the
recharging them at night. Okay.
I'm a follower.
I'm not
of that.
kumbaya. I'm not
yeah.
drinking.
Spit it out.
I'm not drinking kombucha like James is here. But I'm telling you what, I think you're a little. Listen, if you use the word energy 3 times in a day with me, you don't work for the power company.
All right.
It's the last day.
Hurry back. We're going to start burning some sage here in studio as well. What's wrong with the Big Biz Show? Very special
Boy.
guest in studio with us as well.
Well, of course, and joining Tim Storey, the comeback coach and Lead with Love face of the entire movement, is Tim Storey, his partner, CEO and co-founder, David Guillod, who also may or may not have been rubbing elbows with the likes of Charisse Theron and Don Cheadle and Rachel McAdams and Chris Hemsworth, who I oftentimes never get confused for.
That makes 3 of us.
I know you well. We're friends.
Yes, sir.
You were the super agent in the early '90s. Can you give like a snapshot really fast?
I did. I got very lucky. I ran a big management company for a long time. We built lots of businesses with Jennifer Lopez and Will Smith and Puffy Combs, and then I went over and ran the motion picture department at United Talent Agency, where it's the 3rd largest agency in the world.
Hence the word super agent.
Wow.
We did very well. I was very, very blessed. Worked very hard, but enjoyed Hollywood very much.
Yeah. Was that a downside?
No.
I didn't enjoy Hollywood because
you from LA or-
Because if you enjoy Hollywood too much,
Exactly.
It's
Right?
an interesting question. Am I from LA? No, I'm originally from New York, and how I actually became friends with Tim was because as I was getting lucky in the entertainment business, there was this guy in the late 90s that everybody in Hollywood was talking about that was changing what we were doing in Hollywood through a thing called the Hollywood Bible Study.
Oh, wow.
And so our relationship has always been a very organic relationship.
Curtis Manovich used to go to that.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, he's
Yeah,
our.
as we walked in,
he's our
he
sound
told
dude.
them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how does a comeback coach and a Hollywood builder,
Yeah.
Super agent.
super agent, where was the genesis, the
Yeah.
synergy? Where did it start?
Our relationship started very organically. It started through friendship. And our relationship continued through friendship.
Awesome.
Our relationship was never about a partnership down the road. It was about 2 men that talked about life, talked about pain, talked about setbacks. And our partnership really was born out of purely our friendship.
Can you remember the first time, and this is for you as well, the first time you met and then you're walking away from it going, wow, I really clicked with that guy?
Yeah.
Did that happen?
You know, it's funny because Tim has a lot of labels, as you were saying. He was the comeback coach. He was the miracle man.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Hollywood put him on a lot of big, high pedestals because of the people that he's worked with. When I met with Tim and left with Tim, I didn't even look at him as any of that. I saw him as the best human being. Like, he was Tim the human to me,
Sure.
not Tim the comeback coach.
Yeah.
And Tim always had this way of bringing out the best in me. And back in that time when I was the super agent, there was a great deal of hubris that I had in my life. A lot of ego, a lot of, hey man, I can get anywhere I want.
Sure.
And when I walked away from Tim, I felt always like a better human.
Wow. Amazing.
People are yearning right this second for community-based personal development. I mean, and look, my rabbit hole right now is biohacking. I mean, I've got everything from peptide therapy to, eating green gummies, not those kind of gummies. Although, no, but long story short, people are really thirsty. What makes what makes Lead with Love stand out among? Because there's a lot of stuff you see come through your social about, and this is significantly different. What makes it different?
So I think one of the things is that people are looking for compassion. There's a scripture in the Bible that says God does not treat you as your sins deserve because he knows your frame. And I think a lot of people are feeling judged, condemned, less than. And I'm a person that always looks for the good in people. And so I think I've built a community with David where people feel like they are loved.
So how does faith, you brought it up, play into goal setting and scaling a business and big financial decisions and big financial success?
I think when you get to the bottom of so many of the people that I work with, CEOs that have just crushed it, there is a faith element. Whether they come from the Jewish faith or Christian faith or Catholic or whatever it is, there is a faith component. You have to have faith because faith does not see it, smell it, taste it, touch it, but still goes for it.
Is that why, because faith comes with family,
Yep.
right? And is that why you say that transformation comes with conversation and not isolation?
Perfect. Yes, no doubt about it. So the idea of faith is a scary thing on our own, but Lead with Love is a community, so we're stepping out in faith, not by yourself, but you are now stepping out in faith with other people. There is something about that of learning to swim as a kid with someone else, learning to ride your bike with your little brother. There's something about the power of community.
I went to the Hoffman process a couple years ago, and it changed my life to the point where it gives me tools to deal with a lot of this stuff, but you have to keep it at the surface. Just because you go through a Lead with Love, just because you go through a coaching session, doesn't mean it's not going to happen to you again. You guys have both had setbacks, and you guys have come back, and now you're starting a new business. Any fear, any trigger, like itch, anything that PTSD from any failures or hitting, because both of you had setbacks, and now you're entering into, although it's already got scale and already has a community, it's an ecosystem, it's still a new business.
Or do you look forward to setbacks almost?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
people know that that's where the growth happens. I mean, are you at that point?
I think pain is always for purpose. I think, just to answer one of your questions, I think hope is very scalable, truly scalable. But one of the things about the setbacks...
But hopium is not a strategy, but it is scalable, correct? I mean, listen, I'm high on hopium all the time.
Yeah.
But it ain't a strategy.
Yeah.
But I do think it's...
I have to be very careful in the words I use around Sully.
Yes, it's just I got the foil in my head. It keeps the thoughts from coming. But what I'm saying, I understand what you're saying, though. You're saying positivity.
Yeah, there's setbacks. Look, for me, setbacks keeps me grounded, keeps me humble. We don't talk from a place of theory. We talk from a place of being in the trenches. We also believe that, if you rise up and overcome your setback, you're helping so many other people, your family, your wife, the people that you work with. So I believe, very biblically that, pain is always for purpose. It's when you allow yourself to be cemented in a setback, that's when there's a problem.
Before we get out of here today, and you've been so generous with your time, and David and Tim, I really appreciate it. This is not the last time.
I'm not ready for it to be over.
I'm not either.
Neither am I.
How do people get involved? That's the most important thing. I know you've got the Miracle Mentality podcast, but talk about everything, how people can get involved and get a hold of you guys.
Yeah, thank you. I think what we're trying to do with the movement is meet people where they are, right? So we have a podcast every day. Once a week we release it called the Miracle Mentality. We are bringing content. We are bringing community together. We have a big event December 13th here in San Diego. We're doing a mastermind, a one-day mastermind. We do community. We do events. We try to meet you where you are.
And your keynotes around the country, is that an invitation only thing, or can people come attend if they're in the city that you're in?
No, they can come and attend. And I do them literally all over the world, usually 2,000 to 12,000 people.
Wow.
And
Well, there's plenty of
I-
there's plenty of TEDs online also that you do and everything else.
Yes.
Plenty of stuff, but
The best way is we have a newsletter that keeps everybody up to date. Go to timstory.com, sign up for the newsletter, and the calendar is on there.
will you guys come back with us, please?
Please.
And just-
100%.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love the band.
I think we got
I
a
love
new-
the band.
I think we got a new
and I
five.
love the people.
This is the 5.
It is the new
I
5.
know.
Right?
All right, leadwithlove.net, timstory.com, also David Guillod, co-founder, CEO of Lead with Love. Yeah, you'll see him here again on this show really, really soon. Keep it right here. There's much more to come right after this.